Alright, so this is going to be my spoiler-free review over Mortal Kombat 2. I want to start off by saying that the first of the newer Mortal Kombat movies I really enjoyed. I'm also a massive fan of the original, and funny enough, I always loved Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I'm a big fan of video games, so that was one of the best parts in this movie, is that it really did feel like the best, or as I said, the quintessential Mortal Kombat film. Another great part about this movie is that we finally get the infamous Mortal Kombat tournament. I think they explain it very well, even for people who aren't familiar with Mortal Kombat. And honestly, whether it's a pro or con for you, I think it's actually really good, because I think someone who hasn't watched the first one could just watch Mortal Kombat 2 and be right in and ready to go. Like, it builds up its story to where anyone could jump in and really enjoy the story that's being told in this film. If you're a fan of the games particularly, there's so much in this movie that you're going to have an absolute blast as a fan. I'm not going to go into any sort of spoiler territory. All I'll say is, if you're familiar with any moves from the game, you'll see a lot of those moves in this movie, and they were captured perfectly. If you're familiar with the games, you'll hear stuff like the finish him that you'll hear at the end of a fight, or you'll hear that like kind of iconic gong sound to start a fight. It literally feels like when they have their one-on-one fights, like you're watching a game of Mortal Kombat. And I think being able to capture the feel of the video games effortlessly over to the big screen, I think they did a phenomenal job. This movie, again, is, in my opinion, the quintessential Mortal Kombat movie. Anything you want, you got in this movie. You want Baraka? You got it. You want Scorpion? Awesome. Liu Kang, Raiden, Kung Lao, Sonya? Again, continually great. And probably the two biggest ones for me is Johnny Cage. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. Now, I know that was controversial casting, but once you get past the fact that this is a aged action star, and they play really well into it in the film, but when it comes to an older, aged martial arts star, Carl Urban absolutely steals the show. He made this character his own while taking most of the great aspects that you think of and what makes you, love the character of Johnny Cage. And the other one is the actor who plays Shao Kahn. That man carries himself with such ferocity and such menace that you truly believe that that is the villain of this fighting franchise, and admittedly the villain of this film. The last thing that I'll say about this movie, and why I put this above all of the other Mortal Kombat movies that we've had so far, is I think they balanced for me the most perfect thing, and that's balancing humor, because there's several hilarious moments and more lighthearted moments. But the thing I care the most about, that I don't think any of the previous games really captured perfectly, the feeling of desperation. If you're familiar with the Mortal Kombat universe, they've lost 9 tournaments. This is basically the tournament, could be the end of everyone. And I think that comes across whether they're talking about the tournament, whether we see them fight in the tournament. I think balancing humor and the desperation, I think, is done, masterfully. So if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, I highly recommend this movie. For me, this is the gold standard for Mortal Kombat films. If you're a fan of the video games, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this movie. There's a lot that's taken from the games. But if you have not seen Mortal Kombat, I do highly recommend it. I can't talk about how much I love this movie. But again, when it comes to Mortal Kombat, this is the top of the mountain for Mortal Kombat films for me.